Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. In this Hearthstone video I want to talk about Kazakusan. Yes, the ultimate win condition of control decks, and Kazakusan is a card that is a problem for Hearthstone. It's a card that has been a problem for Hearthstone. It has been nerfed twice. First the treasure pool was nerfed, because craft a custom deck of treasures, those are duals treasures. Originally there were 29 of them, they removed the strongest one, so currently there's 28 remaining. And then it was nerfed again. The next nerf was to nerf to the activation condition. Originally, if all minions in your deck are dragons, craft a custom deck of treasures. Okay, so solution, don't play any minions. No minions, no dragons, haha. Now, if you have played 4 other dragons in this game, craft a custom deck of treasures, so you're forced to play some dragons in order to activate Kazakusan. And Kazakusan remains very, very popular for control decks. And to understand just how popular, let's take a bit of a look at the control decks currently being played in Hearthstone. First, we have the strongest control deck in the game at the moment, and one of the strongest decks overall in the game, the only reliable counter to aggro Demon Hunter, which is the Control Warrior. And for Control Warrior, Kazakusan is easy. I mean, it's a win condition in a box. You put Kazakusan in your deck, 1 card for your win condition, the rest is removal. And you have some excellent synergy tools with Onyxian Drake, being a dragon and being a card that's designed for Control Warrior to run. So Onyxian Drake, Red plus Onyxia, that already covers 3 of your dragon slots. Then you only need 1 more and a couple of Amalgams of the Deep, and boom, you're done as a warrior. So okay, I can totally see why Kazakusan is run in warrior, but Kazakusan is a neutral card, so you can put it in any class. And put it in any class you will. Because Druid also wants to run Kazakusan as a win condition. Hey, well, Druid wants to ramp up, and it used to be able to play Kazakusan very, very early. We're talking turn 4, turn 5 Kazakusan. Now it's a little bit more difficult because you have to play those dragons first, but actually it's starting to turn in the direction that Druid is willing to make that sacrifice. For a while it looked like, okay, can you actually play Druid without Kazakusan? Maybe you can, maybe you will do that. But no, you're putting in stuff like Onyxian Warders, Alexstrasza the Lifebinder, Ysera the Dreamer into your deck, just so that you can activate your Kazakusan pretty quickly. So the power of Kazakusan is just so great that Druid cannot be freed from it. It's the win condition. It's the win condition they want to use if you're playing this ramp style Druid deck. And yeah, that just tells you a little bit about the power level of Kazakusan, the sacrifices people are willing to make. And stats justify making all those sacrifices in order to use Kazakusan in your deck. Control Paladin looks like an outlier, at first sight anyway. Hey, you're playing Control Paladin, yay, control deck without Kazakusan. Although this Control Paladin deck, this is actually just Lifeforce Cariel, which makes you almost invincible. And then, in addition to Lifeforce Cariel, you have Mr. Smite, which you're going to buff up so much that you're just OTKing people. If game goes long, well, you just OTK people. So okay, 1 turn kill combos are sort of an alternative to Kazakusan as a win condition, but a value alternative to Kazakusan for a control deck, that doesn't really exist for this Control Paladin either. This Control Paladin deck cannot use that much value to really win a value game. It wins by defending, of course, that's possible, especially with Cariel, because you can take so much punishment that it's possible to really run some decks out of threats. But if the game goes long, Mr. Smite eventually coming out with 28 attack, 32 attack, something like that, and boom, phase, and yeah, that's the way it wins. So okay, it is a control deck, but with a combo finisher, so a control combo hybrid, you could say. And even that is being contested, because there is also another Control Paladin deck. And guess what is the win condition of that Control Paladin deck? Yay, it's Kazakusan. And as a matter of fact, it's been discovered that the more dragons you put into this Control Paladin deck, the better off you are typically, because that's earlier Kazakusan for you. So okay, Bronze Explorer, that's sort of a decent card nowadays after the buff being introduced into the core set, and 3 mana 3/3 with Lifesteal and Discovering Dragons, that's pretty sweet. But you also run stuff like Amber Watchers, you even run stuff like Onyxian Warders in this archetype, which really should have no place to be in any sort of serious deck, but they do, because they are also enablers for your Kazakusan. Yeah, so control deck is starting to become synonymous with Kazakusan. Now you could ask, why is this a problem? I mean, I don't know why you would ask that question, but let's entertain that notion, okay, that every control deck in the game having the same one neutral card as their win condition is not a problem. Alright, well, seriously, that's a huge problem already. But that's not even the extent of the Kazakusan problem. The second part of the Kazakusan problem is that this really symbolizes the death of that sort of value control decks in Hearthstone, because Kazakusan is also random. Okay, sure, you get some discovers, but the pool is 28 cards. There's cards of very different power levels in that pool. Some of those cards are going to win you the game. Okay, Logos was removed, that was by far the strongest card, but there's still a bunch of cards that are very, very powerful. And then there's a bunch of cards that are pretty much useless. Quel'Delar, I'm looking at you especially, but there's a few others too, so the pool of very strong cards is not large enough that you would always be offered some of them. In fact, in some of the games, you can imagine playing a control game. Hey, I'm playing control deck, I'm using just the right answers for all the threats my opponent is playing, I'm doing fine, okay, starting to get in the late game, it's time for me to get on the offense, I'm playing my Kazakusan, I'm getting my win conditions, except that sometimes you don't get your win condition. So you can play a perfect control game, using all of your resources optimally, and when the time comes to use your own win condition, it just doesn't exist. So control decks have been turned into coin flip decks. Sure, the coin is weighted. I mean, it's more likely that you're going to find some really strong win conditions from Kazakusan, that is, that you don't find any. But you don't find any. That does happen. I mean, 10% of the games. And that's just like the complete opposite of what the control deck should be like. And what the control gameplay used to be like. Matching your answers to the opponent's threats so that eventually you will come out as a winner, but now you can do all of that and then you still have to flip a coin at the end. Very symbolic of Hearthstone maybe in some ways, and also pretty much the problem with this game. And it's a problem that we can't seem to get rid of. So now we're stuck with control decks with Kazakusan as the win condition for all classes from here to eternity, maybe not, maybe just for this year. And yeah, that's the Kazakusan problem, and that's not going away. Twice nerfed, it has not helped. It's a pretty dismal state of control in Hearthstone, once again. And because of Kazakusan's nature as filling the deck with these treasures, there doesn't seem to be any obvious way to get out of this mess. If you average out the power level so that they will be average level cards, then Kazakusan is unplayable. If you make all of those cards really strong, well, Kazakusan is even stronger. If you make all of those cards weak, well then Kazakusan is also unplayable. There's just no good way out of this without killing the card. I mean, maybe we should just kill that card. There might have been something to that old nerf policy, where cards that were terrible for the game were just killed. Perhaps that is the way to go. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and check out my Twitch channel.